Welcome to the Multimedia Impact Briefing for Central Alabama. Today is Sunday, February the 9th. This briefing will continue to focus on the potential for a wintry mix across portions of north central Alabama Monday evening into Tuesday morning. As we discussed yesterday, precipitation will return to central Alabama beginning Monday as yet another upper-level disturbance tracks eastward across the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. Unfortunately, this will bring another opportunity for some wintry precipitation across the northern portions of central Alabama in the Monday evening into Tuesday morning time frame. At this point, our confidence is increasing in the chance for a wintry mix, but precipitation type and accumulations are still a bit uncertain. Based on forecast soundings for locations generally along and north of Interstate 20, there could be multiple transitions between precipitation types. Therefore, some snow, sleet, and freezing rain look possible for many areas in the north. Although models seem to be coming into better agreement at the moment on the location of the freezing line at the surface, there are other factors that have to be considered as well, for instance, temperatures aloft. Therefore, please realize that the line between the wintry mix and all rain to the south could easily be shifted farther north or south. It will be imperative that you check the latest forecast and products frequently for any updates on what you can expect in your particular location. With this event, we know that there's going to be precipitation, but determining exactly which types will be present and which will be predominant is quite difficult. I want to take a few moments and try to describe some of the factors that come into play when determining precipitation type. We'll take a look at a few forecast soundings for the upcoming event to see what they show. If you're not familiar with soundings, then I'll go over a brief overview with you, so just bear with me here for a couple of minutes as I'm going to try to describe this as the best I can. A sounding basically depicts the conditions of the atmosphere vertically from the surface, which is at the bottom of the image, up to the top of the troposphere, or what we call the tropopause. The line farthest to the right, which is the red line, indicates the temperature up through the atmosphere, while the line farthest to the left, the green line, indicates the dew point. So when both of these lines are very close together, as in temperature and dew point are almost the same, then we know there's a lot of moisture in the air, okay? So that means that there will be moist conditions when the green and red lines are very close together. The wind barbs on the far right of the image show the wind speed and the wind direction as you go farther up. I also have the 0 degree Celsius line highlighted in black on here to basically show you when the temperature is above or below freezing. So, looking at this first sounding, we want to start by trying to see if there's any moisture in what we call the snow growth region. Now, the snow growth region is between minus 10 degrees and minus 30 degrees Celsius, which is the area between the two brown lines that I have on there. I have minus 10 and minus 30 indicated with the brown line. So look in between the two brown lines there. And when we do that, we can see that both the red and green line are pretty much right on top of each other. So we know that the atmosphere is very moist there. Okay, so this means that we have plenty of moisture for ice crystals. So we have ice crystal growth. Next, we need to see if there's any warm layers between here and the surface that could possibly melt the ice crystals. So in this sounding, if you look between roughly 900 and 700 millibars, the temperature line, again the red line, is well to the right of 0 degrees, which I've got that kind of area highlighted in a reddish color there. So basically this is a warm layer, and this warm layer is warm and deep enough to help melt the ice crystals. So we started out with ice crystals, but now they've melted, so now we have rain. So from here, we have to see if there are any cold layers between here and the surface that could help refreeze the rain before it makes it to the ground. The temperature line does go just to or below freezing right near the surface, but it's not really deep enough to refreeze the raindrops. But with temperatures right at freezing at the surface, they will freeze once they come in contact with the ground. So basically, therefore, we're looking at a freezing rain sounding. Because we started out with ice crystals, then they melted, so then we had rain. And it wasn't cold enough to refreeze them before they hit the ground, but with temperatures right around freezing at the surface, it probably would refreeze once it hit the ground, so therefore freezing rain. Let's take a look at another example. Here, as you can see, there's still quite a bit of moisture in the snow growth region, so we're going to say there's plenty there for ice crystal growth. And there's still a warm layer, the red area there. But if you look at it, that warm layer isn't quite as deep or quite as warm as the one that we just looked at. But it could be warm enough to either melt the ice crystals or maybe only partially melt them. So we could have some complete melting or just some partial melting. And then if we look below that, then we can see that there is a cold layer there. Temperatures actually are colder now at the surface and just above the surface than they were previously. Still not enough to really completely refreeze anything that would have melted. So basically here we may be looking at more of a predominant freezing rain with some sleet mixed in. Couldn't rule out a snowflake in there, but again, I would say the predominant precipitation type would be freezing rain and a mixture of sleet as well. Finally, we're going to take a look at just one more, so just bear with me here for just another moment. If we look here, we still have plenty of moisture in the snow growth region, so we have ice crystals. That's a given. I mean, that's obvious. The big difference here, though, is that notice that there's no warm layer. That red line indicating the temperature, it's completely below freezing now. So therefore, without a warm layer, then those ice crystals aren't going to melt at all. So when these ice crystals, they're falling through the atmosphere, they never melt. So therefore, when they reach the surface, they're still snowflakes. So basically, this is a snow sounding right here. So as you can see, just looking at these three examples, I mean, there's many more that I could have shown you, but just looking at these three examples, even the slightest changes in surface temperature or even temperatures aloft have a big impact on what type of precipitation you can see at the surface. So I know that some of that may have been a little bit confusing to some of you, but basically the main point is that forecasting precipitation type is not as easy as we would like for it to be. All three of the soundings that I just showed you here are what the models are currently forecasting for different locations along and north of I-20 for Monday evening into Tuesday morning. So as you can see, any of those precipitation types at this point are possible with this upcoming system. So therefore, at this time, be prepared for a possible mix between freezing rain, sleet, and snow. We will continually be analyzing the latest data to try and narrow down the most likely precipitation types for each part of central Alabama and any potential accumulations of each type. We just want everyone to keep in mind that this is a fluid situation and updates and changes to the forecast will be necessary. So look for more details over the next 24 hours. Thanks for viewing this briefing. Just as a reminder, for rapidly changing situations and while events are ongoing, please see the Froecast on the front of our website for the latest information. As always, if you have any questions or need any additional information, please feel free to give us a call at 205-664-3010.